Good morning. So I have another request here. This one is from Okami to have his AC, the Jester, fight Ernst from AC1, later remade in MOA, and later remade in a completely different name with a different emblem with a different setup in LR with a completely different gun. Yeah, not sure. Anyhow, the Ernst is basically, or the Phoenix in this case, is remade with the 1000 MG as he should be. All of his other stuff is more or less accurate. The Jester is Okami's AC, pretty much a missile spammer with lots of close range options, as you can see. And generally speaking, that is about all the introduction needed there. Last time when the Jester was in a fight, I didn't use its missiles much. I gave it an operation chip now to close in with missiles for the first 30 seconds. So it's far more likely to use them. Generally speaking, it's really going to depend on the terrain a lot. If he's close range like this, he's typically going to automatically try to go for his close range options. If he gets farther away, he'll end up using the missiles more, but he's still prioritizing them the first 30 seconds. So he'll still usually take off a couple volleys. But generally speaking, if he feels he can do more damage this way, he will. Alright, so currently he's actually winning it. That exchange seems to have changed it slightly. Yeah, on the Phoenix, there's what I like to call the Dagger Blade. It's just basically the high single tick damage one. Oh man, so that was pretty scrappy right there. So yeah, first round goes to the Phoenix. Hopefully, this next one will be a bit of a larger map. Then the Jester can actually make some use of his missiles, since that's a lot of his early game advantage comes from there. You know what? It may not look like it, but this map should be pretty darn perfect for that. He's starting on the left corner, which means he's going to have pretty good sight lines on the Phoenix here. Alright. You're not whipping out your missiles, buddy. This is strange. There we go. So yeah, I didn't make any changes to his range preferences, so that also could be part of it. In which he likes to fight at pretty darn short range. Probably setting that a little higher would allow him to use his missiles more effectively. So we'll see if he decides to. I think if he doesn't end up doing it this round, we'll change those sliders a little bit and see how that changes the fight. I sure do like my burning coffee cup down on the wall. Alright, so right now it looks like the Phoenix is possibly overheating. Because he's only... No, there we go, he's walking. So he just got a little tired out there. Alright. Both still gunning each other, so unless he goes and closes in for a blade hit or backs off with his cannon, this is probably going to the Jester. Or not, if you can't get him in his sights. Oh, there we go. It's even. Or just a straight-up machine gun duel. Alright, so I'm gonna call that a tie. It pretty much was. Alright, let's back off here. Change this a little bit here. Yeah, the problem is he's just kind of down here in short range. If we... Let me check this real quick. Yeah, that's fine. Just put it a couple ticks up. I don't want to put it on the middle, because then he just plain might not do it. And then instead of closing in, we're going to change this for an air launch. And that should cause him to keep his range a little more. And there we go, let's restart this fight. Not even so much restart. We'll say it's one to the Phoenix so far. Had a little bit of an intermission to go get the metaphorical Gatorade bottle. Have a little talk with the coach and all that. Talk about how much they're gonna absolutely win, and then probably go to friggin' Disney or whatever. Okay. There's a nice slash. There he goes for his launch. Now we're talking. Yeah, not sure why the missile closing option didn't exactly want to work. I guess that's supposed to be more for missile snipers. Usually it does work, though. I ended up using that on Kaiser, and it was pretty effective. So now, looking at that, and looking at the general thing here, I'm not actually sure the missiles made that big of a difference. The thing is, the way that they fire, unless he has specific instructions to back off to fire them, I mean, he still stays at relatively close range there. But unless he has specific instructions to back off, the way that they converge, it seems like half of them have a chance to hit him. A good bit of them have, will just hit the area around him, around the target. And, counting down for both the missile destroyer on the core, as well as the fact that the Phoenix's shell defense is absolutely disgusting. Ultimately, it doesn't really do a hell of a lot more than just continuing with his gun. So alright, 1-1 so far. And as far as his previous fight against Valkyrie, the missiles actually wouldn't have made much of a difference there either. I'm pretty sure I have her set up with decoys. But then again, I could be wrong, and that could have been the main deciding factor in the fight that was already ludicrously one-sided. Alright. Well, I guess not as ludicrous as some of them, to be fair. Now, also it should be noted that Phoenix has a pretty distinct AP advantage right from the very start. So overall, the Jester still has to do almost 1,000 extra AP of damage to even out the fight. Man, that missile response on that thing is ridiculous. It's just barely scratching him. Alright, so he's searching. Nice. This little ambush counter slash there. Yeah, don't know why they didn't keep his name. Because, okay, Ernst is a little bit weird. It's like Ernest Goes to the Apocalypse. But Phoenix is way the crap cooler than Quartz Claw. Yeah, those Jesters are really, really favoring the Phoenix. The Jester cannot take those kinds of trades. At least not without getting full damage out of his blade. This looks like it's still going to go to the Jester, possibly. Oof, dodged. Cord. Oh crap. This is friggin' close right here. Jesus, that's close. Oh man. I'm gonna have to call that one a tie again. Oof. Or for that matter, screw that, they each got one each. Let's just have the tiebreaker. That was a good fight. Screw it, maybe I will count ties each. Get to see more of this. I don't want to see more of this. Plus, I want to see the Phoenix use his cannon at least once. Dang it, he was specifically programmed to use that thing. Why you no cannon? Let's watch it from his end. just to see that satisfying bit where he backs off and friggin' like nails the Jester in the air with a grenade launcher. I ended up mixing two words there. Couldn't decide whether to say grenade launcher or grenade round. And you know what? It was a lound. That's right. Utterly Shakespearean over here. Kinda sounds more like Dr. Seuss, but whatever. Man, these guys' missiles are doing practically nothing against each other. Pretty much just functioning as pressure weapons. Yeah, Okami, gotta say, you were friggin' right on this one. Maybe the AIs just landed just right, but this really is the friggin' like ultimate first-gen fight right here. I'm gonna think of it, they didn't have extensions in AC1, did they? I don't remember. Like I said, it's been a while. I want to say that there were no, I think there were extensions. It had either extensions or insides. I guess extensions makes more sense. Now that I think about it, there were those ones that had the weird, like, shoulder flappy dealies. Come here, Google. I got a question for you. Google says... I guess they came in 2? Yep. So they did start in AC2, so was it? Hang on, did they have inside parts? I could have sworn... Also, it would probably help if I actually watched the fight, huh? Dang it, Google. What have you done?
Test match. Single mode. Stand by. Ready. Go.
Yeah, no. The inside parts were apparently in an AC2 thing also. Man, I love some of these slashes the Jester's getting off, though. Calling him the Gesture instead of Jester. And these are super evenly matched. So it sounded like it said Grid 2 wins last time, which would be the Phoenix. I mean, I'll admit I was looking at my phone, so I'm actually not counting that result. I was trying to figure out about friggin' extensions and inside parts. In which case, if that was the case, then the Jester's winning another one right here. But dang it, we're gonna keep this going until he uses his cannon. Use your cannon, you fool! You might actually have to call a stalemate if that's the case. Well, let's go. Let's do this crap. Alright, we got close range scrappiness again. I guess we're redoing that first round. Whoa! Okay, that was awesome. That was the first time I've seen them actually properly utilizing blade range. So the Phoenix just barely missed, and the Jester ended up getting him. Oh! Okay. He's actually overheated? Yeah, he's eating some pretty ridiculous heat off those missiles, it should be. I don't know if you could really afford to take the trade. They're not that much of a lead there. Alright, so between these fights, I'm going to call the Jester the winner. It just seems like if he gets that heat off, he has a much better chance, otherwise they're surprisingly even. And that being said, I want to do one last fight. It's just kind of a bonus around here. I'm going to have them fight on this map. Because he's far more likely to be able to back away and use his grenade cannon here. Because dang it, he's got to do that intro stuff. Get that ogre logo out of that building. Replace those all with coffee cups. Also just kind of makes sense for them to fight in the city. Hey guys, you should fly to the top of the screen. There might actually be a hidden part there. I think there were like 2 or 3 hidden parts in those different rooms, weren't there? In Nexus? Something like that. Never... I don't think there were any in Last Raven, although I don't think this map was ever used on the missions. Which sucks, because it's a good map. I guess they just didn't want to reuse the whole fighting in the wrecked city type of situation. Also, it's kind of funny that in the military district you could go and knock buildings down. And in this one you can't go, like, friggin' full rampage and everything. Right, so we're at the 2-minute mark. Just has to last 30 more seconds now. This range is fine. 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11... And yeah, the counting is a little bit funky, because the frame rate's constantly switching because of the frame skipping thing. Because technically speaking, the game is lagging like freaking crazy the entire time. Alright, so now the Phoenix should back off. Buddy, that was your cue. You need to back off and canonize now. Put that friggin' gun away. Cannon time. Well, he was gonna use it until he was all rudely interrupted. Alright, whatever. I think I'm just gonna have to just be happy with him not using it right now. Unfortunately, you can't always make the AI do what you want, at least not without breaking something else in the process. So, there we go. Jester is overall the winner. Have a good day, and let me know if you have any other requests.